Now we have our prescription playbook brought to you by the experts at Valley Regional Hospital. And this week we sat down with Dr. Ergen of Valley Regional Hospital and we talked to him about the Rob Gronkowski injury. And Dustin, you're obviously a big football fan, so you know, and we'll get into that later, pretty big injury.
Yeah.
And it could have significant effect on what the Patriots do in the future.
Absolutely.
And we did talk to Dr. Ergen about the surgery that was done, what type of injury this is, and the rehabilitation time that it will take, and also what kind of assessment does the doctor have to make quickly on the sidelines to figure out what's wrong, as we all saw him leave the field in some pain. So we will take a look at that right now.
I think it's likely that Rob Gronkowski will be back playing again next year, and I'm sure he'll get the best rehabilitation possible to get him there. So if the question is whether he can play again, the likelihood is yes, provided what we know about his injury is really all that there is to it. So with a herniated disc, you've got these vertebral body elements, and the blue here represents the disc spaces in between. The yellow is the nerve roots that are exiting from the spinal cord, or from the what's called the cauda equina, which is the extension of the nerve roots further down. And they try to exit in between the vertebral bodies near the discs. If the disc herniates and pinches that nerve root, then you get leg pain. The most important thing with any surgery is that there's a biology of healing that takes a certain length of time for each stage of healing to occur, and the doctors can't speed that up. Typically, if you've got a herniated disc and it's pushing on a nerve root, you want to remove the disc material that's pushing on the nerve root, but it still requires the ligaments that were torn in the first place to heal, and then it requires the muscles to recover and the flexibility to return and the strength to return to the surrounding muscles before you can get back into sports activities. Orthopedics is divided into 6-week segments. If something doesn't heal in 6 weeks, it'll often require 3 months. And if it doesn't heal in 3 months, it'll require 4.5 months. And if it doesn't heal in 4.5 months, it'll require 6 months. So it's usually in 6-week sections of time that we look for healing.
All right, thank you to Dr. Ergen over at Valley Regional Hospital. Once again, we talked to him about the Gronk injury, and we'll get the rest of his thoughts next week when we talk about some ways to avoid getting injured. And obviously, the Patriots would love to have him avoid that injury in the future. This will be his third back surgery, yep. Dustin, and what does this mean for the Patriots? He obviously comes back next year. He gets it working. But his career, is it severely limited, or is he still able to, does he have to change his game? What does this mean for the field?
Well, the first thing is, whenever you see a back injury, it's nothing to just take lightly. It's a very big injury, and the thing is, anytime you get injured, especially a guy like Rob Gronkowski who's been injured over and over again, it's hard to be confident in yourself going back on the field. If it was just a one-time thing, it'd be different. But now that, like you said, this is his third back injury, he's going to have to change his game a little bit. He's not going to be able to maybe take those shots that he has in the past. One shot, as we've seen, could put him out for a significant period of time. So I think the Patriots next year with Rob Gronkowski, they're going to kind of be in a let's see what you have mode. If you can show us what you can still play at the top level like you have been, we'll be okay in paying you going down the road. But again, it's going to be hard for him, I think, mentally, because once you have those injuries pile up over and over again, it's hard to get over that mental hurdle of saying, okay, let me go out there and get that first hit and know it's going to be okay and not shy away from a few things.
Well, and the biggest thing about Gronk, as we've seen, is almost he looks for the contact. And that's got to be something that when the Patriots sit down with him at the beginning of the year and talk to him and say, he's obviously under contract, he'll stay, you got to be careful about that, because I got to imagine that the way the Patriots are playing, if they didn't win the Super Bowl the last time Gronk was out, if they are able to go ahead and win the Super Bowl this year, and I've said it before, that makes him, it may be that situation where the Patriots might not need him. Maybe that's drastic right now, but I could see that happening in the future.
Right, I definitely see what you're saying there. They didn't win the Super Bowl with him last time he was injured. Obviously back in 2007 when they lost to the Giants, he wasn't even on the team. But like you said, the biggest thing for players is getting that first hit, knowing you're going to be okay. Obviously, with any injury, it can happen any time. You hope for Patriots fans, Gronkowski comes back healthy.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to see. And like I said, we'll talk to Dr. Ergen again next week from Valley Regional Hospital. We're going to take a break and come back. We'll preview the other half of the bracket, the NFC Championship, Packers and Falcons. When we come back, you're watching YCN Sports Talk.